Start of the big months, big time in real estate, April, May, June, July. Look at Stacy.
And I have an orange jacket.
They let her out on work release today, but
Give me the nod.
they made her wear the colors though. There we go.
There you go.
All right, so a little lighter crowd today. We have public school spring break, which is probably the biggest time out of agents being gone. Might be the longest stretch of the year of just without a vacation. You know, I guess kind of New Year's was the last one. So
St. Patrick's Day.
Huh?
St. Patrick's.
Well, there you go. But a lot of people off.
National holiday.
A lot of people are out of town with kids with spring break. Hopefully, if you're doing deals, you were aware of that, and you're aware of your other agent's schedule. It's a bit frustrating, especially if you're in due diligence, when all of a sudden your co-op agent is non-accessible. So hopefully you are aware and how to reach them if they're gone. Let's talk market. About as good a conditions as we could imagine or hope for. Again, we're back to stock markets near highs. Rates have gone straight down to lows. So that's the ultimate formula for us as realtors. I've said many times, I think our business is way more tied to the stock market than we think. As far as when market's up high, people have money in their accounts and they're confident. And with rates low, that's just more affordability. So it's as good as it gets, with Atlanta still kind of leading the country in job growth. So everything is good leading up right to the big time. So everyone kind of feeling that? He went two finger and then he went with the hand. Okay. What you got?
I can't remember. I read this in the AJC the other day, and it was Atlanta market, that multiple offers were down 16%.
Really?
That's a big margin.
Well, that is big. Are y'all feeling that?
Yeah.
Anyone in the last month been in? Raise your hand. You've been in multiple offer situation last month. Well, it's still out there, but hopefully, I'm not hearing of the 5 to 8 offers. Put it that way. So that is nice. It's very difficult market situation when you're having to deal with tons of multiple offers. Obviously on the buy side, listing side, it's great. So we'll keep an eye on that. Good. Anything you hear like that, stats, let me know. Always good to report. That's what we do here. We share information. Bridge Interactive, we talked about it last week. Everybody getting on that plan, liking it. Seems like all thumbs up. Big time saver, right? Yeah. There we go. Good.
Just one thing on that. People, when you're inputting a single family house, there's a little section there that says unit. If it's a single family house, don't put anything in that field. It confuses Zillow and it confuses FMLS. So just leave that field blank if it's a single family house.
Okay. Good tip there. Hank, I don't know if you're aware, but all your culture committee people have various things today. So why don't you talk about the upcoming beer, bourbon, and barbecue?
Excellent.
You're
Coming, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Thursday, April the 11th.
No. You're facing the front. You gotta face the back. Face the audience.
Crowd.
Yes, the crowd.
Obviously, we're still in the market for donations. We're trying to raise as much money as we can. The gentleman whose house we're fixing up, we've started to buy some of the, we picked up the cooktop, the vent-a-hood. They've had a plumber out there, an electrician out there, so it's building up. And the big event for the beer, bourbon, and barbecue, we're going to have flights of whiskey or bourbon to sample, all in the name of Red Day, and we need donations. That's the main thing. So if you've got a closing in the next few months, please get on that green sheet and donate to KWAP Cares and Red Day and pitch in. And plan to be there too. Bring people.
It's in the atrium out here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking to the caterers and all, and we're giving them a number between 40 and 50 attendees, but we would love to be able to raise that. So if you got a good idea, you can be here, you can attend, and you're going to bring somebody, please let us know.
How much is it, Hank?
It's none.
Oh, so just make a donation?
Any donation is welcome. They're having sponsors, which I'm sure they're going to tap on your door.
I'm sure they already have.
There's a shuffleboard tournament too, you need some.
Shuffleboard, we're going to do putting for dough and all that kind of stuff. It should be fun.
Yeah.
The beer will be good, the barbecue will be good, and the bourbon will be delicious too.
There we go. So out in the atrium, right out here, it's a week from yesterday, the 11th. And remember, we're also, once you put those up, Diane, we're auctioning all the items from the office. So hopefully you've got an email, you've been looking at those, you can scroll through those, but almost every piece of furniture, artwork, lamp that used to be in this office, we are auctioning to the highest bidder. So during, while you're out there, silent auction, go on the pad. At 8 when we're done, the highest bidder gets them. So the reason we're doing that is because we're getting all new furniture. So yeah, there's pretty nice items here. Yeah, look at that plant. Mother's Day's coming up. I think my mom might get that clock right there. Yes.
Something we've also talked about is getting with Lyft or Uber, and you can, if you're having an event where there's going to be consumption of alcohol and all, they'll give you a discounted rate. So if you're worried about, if I get over there and have a good time, I don't want to be driving back and forth, really consider, those options as well. But we'd love to have everybody there.
All right, so next Monday, 5 to 8. There we go.
Thursday.
Next Thursday. I said Monday. Yeah, it's a week from this Thursday.
Yeah.
The 11th. You're
At least
correct.
you know people were listening to you.
Yes, there we go. First time no one said anything. Second time we got through. Okay, so it's on the 11th. Robert Buckley, come talk to us. Great breakfast. Love the bagels, love the eggs, fruit. He's got it all. Yogurt. Robert Buckley. Scott Buckley. I said Robert. National Property Inspectors. There we go.
Yeah, Bob's the owner of our franchise, so that's where.
There we go. There we go.
A few things I gave you all was with this little flyer for the 5-year platinum roof protection plan. Please, this is a supplemental thing. In fact, we get this through RWS, but one thing, it's an aggregate of $3,000, so it's only $600 per claim. So it's not going to, patch, but it'll take care of little minor stuff. And then the other thing, I've got these booklets. I don't have enough to hand out, but the Buyer and Seller's Guide to the Home Inspection Process. If anybody wants to include these in a kit to give out to clients or a home buyer seminar, I'll be happy to provide you as many as you need. Our office number is on the flyer here at the top. You can call that if you need these, and I have a few with me. The other thing I want to tell you is I had done a sewer scan inspection, and for 40 feet from the home all the way to the sewer line in the street, there was terracotta clay tile pipe. It's, you got it because there's a joint every 3 feet. There's a row of Leland cypresses running parallel with that sewer line, the drain line, and every 3 feet, tree roots were getting into that sewer line. And it looked like, honestly, they looked like they had been cut. And that's a way to keep it flowing, is to just put an auger in there and with a blade that hits the inside of the pipe and spins really fast, and you can cut it. But it's not a permanent solution. When we presented the information to our client, they then negotiated with the seller, and they got $11,000 off the asking price, and they ended up buying the home. So just because there are bad things going on doesn't mean the deal needs to die. We just need to figure out who's going to take care of what. I highly recommend it. I had my own personal experience where I'm getting ready for church on a Sunday morning, and everyone's taking a shower, everyone's yelling at me to turn off the water because I did not get that sewer scan, and there were tree roots growing into my terracotta clay tile pipe, and it had blocked it up, and it was not fun on a Sunday morning with the downstairs toilet overflowing with raw sewage. So, I mean, and then...
Thanks for that picture.
Yeah, sorry. On breakfast, by the way.
How much does that, how much extra is the sewer scan?
It's $295. And we've got a third party doing it for us, and I highly recommend it because you can find all sorts of things. Bob McDonough, brand new home, his sewer lateral was crushed. Heavy equipment, probably when they were grading it or backfilling, ran it over, but he noticed everything was draining slowly. And when you got an oval, you got a flat surface where solids and other debris can settle out. The water will get, and soon those solids, will build up and create a dam and then drain slowly. So that was brand new construction, and most people think, hey, no big deal, brand new construction, I've got nothing wrong for the first couple of years. Bob actually noticed that his tub was draining really slow, and that was a clue, a tip-off to say something's going on in there. It was under the builder's warranty, so they fixed it for him, but I'd rather have the builder take care of it because I got a bill of $2,000 to replace my drain line. I was in real estate development at the time, and our contractor was not doing anything, so I hired him hourly, rented the machine, he and I did it ourselves. So I only spent $500, but I still would rather have spent $295 back in '07 than the $500 to get it fixed. I could have negotiated down with the seller at the time. So that's it. We're still partnered with Punch List. They are your amendments to address concerns company. They will price out our report and fix anything. They've got handyman. They get in there, get out. They take pictures before and after to prove they've done it. So it makes a reinspection really easy. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's kind of, he just said an important thing. It's amazing now with these phones and pictures. Pictures, in my opinion, are an upgraded form of communication that really get you where you want to go. So, same thing, if you're a listing agent and you are doing repairs, it goes a lot further. One, for yourself. I mean, if you're sending handymen out there, please take a picture when you're done and send it to me. Okay, we know it's done, right? I mean, we know it's done, which is important, but as an agent for the buyers, wouldn't you kind of appreciate that? Not that it's just done. I mean, you're going to bring a receipt to closing, but I can see it's done. I mean, thank you. Okay? But yeah, for the first, it's just as important. Like, it's done. I'm not going to assume it's done until you send me a picture.
Brad?
Yes.
Mind if I say one more? 95 days to my daughter's wedding, so I really need help. If y'all could send inspections, that would help. Plus, my wife and I want to go on vacation afterwards, so that would help too.
Okay. So, what would you say as an agent? Who would you say is your top vendor in your life that makes your world work? Okay. Okay, so your Mortgage Alliance. Okay. I agree with you. What is number 1A? That's right. That's right. The sooner you realize that, you got someone that knows how this game works, they communicate with you, they communicate with your clients quickly, they can do the deal right, they are reputable, and what they quote is what happens. Trust them. That's a huge thing in your life, having both those people. So thank you both. That's what, top two easily in our business that makes it work. Let me show you a little thank you card. I love great touches and just people that. So y'all know Tamika. She handles kind of contract to close, virtual assistant for a number of agents. She was recommended to me by an agent in the office. I don't deal with Tamika at all. She doesn't do anything for me in the office, but she was recommended. She had a situation with an agent in another office, wanted my opinion. Talked to her most of the way home, just wanted to help her out, okay? Well, I wasn't expecting anything. I just wanted to help her out. The next day, this comes with those Tiff's treats, so they're hot cookies, like 16 cookies. It's a good touch, right? I mean, when people help you out, be thankful. I mean, am I going to remember her? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's especially when people have done you a good. I was just impressed. I was impressed.
Gift treats.
All right. NCAA brackets, you want to talk now or when you come up? You want to wait?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's go, let's talk about follow-up. And I think it's one of the biggest topics, and it's one of the topics that most people are worst at. I think this is the big difference.
Terry's saying amen over here, by the way.
Amen.
So again, let's talk, you can turn back on the lights. Let's talk multiple, there's many areas of follow-up. And this business runs well when we don't forget stuff. We have to have a system to remember stuff. And I don't think most of you do. Okay? Because I see it. You know, I literally see things that I know went on your calendar yesterday and you have no clue today. And that's not good. Again, a lot of your professionalism is regarded quickness of response and communication, and just things don't slip through the cracks, right? That's good business. That's why they've hired you. So let's talk multiple areas. What's your plan to follow up with agents you're dealing with? They're all kind of different if we think about them.
You mean when you're in a transaction?
When you're in a transaction, what are you trying to, what's the follow-up look like?
Friendly, prompt.
Okay.
I mean, I text right away and like you say their name first, you know, with the message.
That helps all the deal. Their name first, your full name at the end. What else?
Know the difference in when to call them, when to text them, or when to email them. Hugely important, right? What else?
Trying to establish a rapport with them, right off the bat, so that there's some trust level.
I totally agree. So either we're doing intelligent things or they just feel like we're confident, right? It's important. All the words matter with these agents. Every word matters. And I think a lot of us slide on this. I think we are lazy in our communication, especially email and text, in that we don't reread it. So mistakes grammatically are just mistakes. I'm already thinking less of you. That you haven't reread it and kind of thought what it sounds like from their side. And that or you've actually just gone short. I mean, it really required a sentence or two more than what you put. I think it's important to the deal.
One word answers come across as, I don't have time for you. Just one word answers. I mean, just do a whole sentence.
Right. I think we're trying also to not use negative words if possible, right? What else?
Make sure you communicate before the sun goes down.
Well, that's true. I think people get weird in the evening. Sometimes it's impossible. We have to do it, but yes, during daylight hours seems to have more. It seems to work better.
You need to be staying one step ahead of the whole transaction.
That's correct.
You don't want as the buyer's agent, you want to let them know when the inspection is, when the appraisal's been ordered, all these things, rather than coming back and saying, are we inspecting it? Have you heard from the appraiser? So if you're always one step ahead, getting them that information, being proactive, I think goes a long way later on if there's a conflict.
In a way that is not you overpowering them or appearing superior.
Correct.
Yes.
I think that too, if you acknowledge the fact that they are doing a good job on the other side of the transaction,
right,
that goes a long way with the transaction, because
right.
You're letting them know that you appreciate them and how they're doing the transaction, that it's becoming a simple transaction versus a difficult one.
Totally. The more you can compliment, just, I mean, it could be John, such a delight to be working with you. Just, you respond quickly, and it's a pleasure working with you. That will go 1,000 miles, right? What else?
Stay solution based.
Yep. Yep.
What was that in here?
Stay solution based.
Steady solution based.
Yeah, and what we'll do is, regardless of the side we're dealing with, we always send out the important dates, kind of along with what Kevin's saying, just kind of set the expectation of when things are due, everyone's on the same page from the beginning, and then you can just kind of follow up prior to a due date, and everyone is kind of aware that there's going to be communication flowing back and forth.
All good. This is a real key just to having deals go smoothly and go through. I mean, I would say easily the biggest hurdle is of a deal we go under contract, but there's still a few more hurdles we need to get through. So having this relationship's important. What's the Mo sandwich?
Start with something nice,
business, compliment.
hit the point, end with something nice.
Right. So newer people, Mo Anderson was longtime CEO of this company. She, if you listen to her, she sounds like the church lady, but she was called the Velvet Hammer. So she could get things done in a big way, but in a way that she got along with people. So that was the Mo sandwich. You started bread on each side. You had I have something negative I need to express. Could be with your children. Could be your grades are slipping. Instead of just coming in and go, Joey, your grades are awful. Joey, it's incredible how well you're doing on the soccer team. I'm really impressed. That little point we need to talk about. Okay, I mean, just establishing that the tone is solution-based and positive. They will take the bad news. Same thing. So, you got, my listing. I get an offer from Michael. It's low. Instead of just going, Michael, that could be the most pitiful offer I've ever seen in my life. Michael, thank you so much for the offer. I'm looking forward to working with you and working this out. Gotta say, your offer's a bit low. Okay, I mean, there's a big difference there, right? So, and then finish with something positive. You'd be surprised how much better that works and how much, and the reason we're doing this is what? We're trying to get what we want, right? But people just don't, too many people think fighting is going to get what you want. It usually doesn't. This is a way that's been proven to get through to people. Okay, all good talk here, but I think, one, there's a whole way of communicating with agents. Okay, what about with leads? Okay, so you're in here right now. You're in here, it doesn't matter if you are, but I'm just saying, say you didn't look at your phone for an hour. I'm focused in here. I get out of here, what's the first thing I'm going to do and you're going to do? Phone. Check every form of communication, right? Check. Every time I come out of a meeting, check. Okay? Hey, Brad, this is Bob. Bill said you were great. I need to buy a house. Okay? Top of the list. I'm calling that, right? That's the ultimate call. Someone that come talk to me about selling listing, I call them back as quickly as possible. Okay? So quickness and speed with leads are huge. Okay? Because it just shows professionalism. I get out of here at 10 and I call them back at 7. I'm already a little concerned that, is Kevin really my guy? I mean, I just called saying I want to do business. Okay? So, what else? What else with leads is important?
Sometimes you have people that are, that they're eventually going to buy, so you got to kind of just do something to ping them just to stay top of mind. So I did that on Friday. I called a woman who I knew she'd moved here from California. They're kind of in the process of doing some other family stuff, but I just called her and said, hey, I think you're a Georgia Peach now. Let's get together. I just want to see you. And she called me back a couple days later and said, yeah, and these are the houses I want to see. I said, wow, okay, I was just calling you to say hi.
Okay, Luann, so what's your way, follow-up is a little bit different than remembering things. So what strategy, what format do you do to remember all the people that said, I want to buy, I'm not right now, in June and August? How do you keep up with those people? What's your strategy?
Well, one of the things I started doing last fall, which a new idea, is I started printing pictures of my buyers, people I was having trouble finding houses for, and people that were coming up. Like you can, sometimes they'd send me a picture, sometimes you could find something on Facebook, and you can just print it on that little photo paper. And I taped them all around. I have an FMLS map that I framed on in my office, and I just taped them around. So I look at them, I pray for them, I think about them, and it's like a constant reminder.
Just like a vision board for buyers.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like a beautiful mind at Luann's house, you know.
Strings.
Yeah.
And CIS.
Yeah, I love it.
Right. Yeah. No dart throwing at them. So you those people, you have their picture so you don't forget.
Yeah.
Right. Great idea. What else? Who else has? What happens? I got big agent. You probably got 7 people, Kevin, that are not today. I can't buy today.
Well,
Where do they go?
so probably the first month in the office, I mean, this is 15 years ago, I asked Brad, I said, you know, tell me, Brad, what separates you from everyone? And he told me, he said, I feel like I'm one of the most organized people in the world. So I thought about that. So about 2 weeks later, I said, well, what does that look like? And Brad knew he didn't tell me to do this at all. I'm just telling you. So he showed me this system where you can do it daily, you can do it weekly. I do it weekly, where you write down all your listings and then the people that I draw a line under the ones, and then put people who are I've talked to. So you know, I try to keep it 20/20, where you have buyers and listings, and you try to look at that, and then you come up with tasks to do for each of these people. But if you're looking at that every Monday, you're thinking about the whole big picture rather than just, oh, what about Tom or Jerry? And I just think that's been very helpful for me to. I would have never thought of that on my own. And you've got that piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole game board I play with. So those people that are can't look today, they go in a special category.
Yeah.
And you look at them once a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's your strategy with those people?
I try to stay in touch with them at least every other week if they're, you know, especially if they're down the road. You know, if I get something, interest rates are down, I'll just send that out to maybe 8 or 10 of the buyers.
So something that would benefit them
Yes.
in knowledge.
And that way, they're at least they realize, oh, I'm on top of mind with Kevin still.
That's what we're trying to do, stay top of mind, right? And they realize that.
Yeah.
Correct? All right, a lead that call up, hey, they called today, hey, want to start looking. They're an active client now, okay? Could be a seller, could be a buyer. What's the strategy follow-up wise with those people?
You should be talking to those people. You know, if they're an active buyer, you're going to be talking to them more often, but minimum you should be talking to them as once a week. And
Okay, so someone you showed Saturday.
Yeah, then follow up with them. You know,
when would you follow up?
I'd probably follow up with them midweek, because if they're an active buyer and I've got them on a search campaign, I'm going to be talking to them about next weekend.
Anyone different than that's 4 or 5 days, Michael? Mentally, what do you think?
If you know, if it's someone that we've shown on Saturday, for instance, you know, we probably follow up the next day just to see how, you know, remind them of the experience we had, let them know when we'll be touching them next.
Say that again.
Touching them next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're full service.
Make you feel easy. I
But I think that's the important point. One of the main things that clients want us to do, they don't do this regularly. They want us to lead the transaction, and that they know someone that's really smart with this is in charge. So people love to know what is coming up next. Okay, they're not even trying to figure it out. They're not anxious about it. You're always letting them know. So that is an important point. The minute you go under contract, could be right then, congratulations, here's what happens next, or it could be the next day, but we have 10 days for due diligence that's what they want. Every step, what's the next step? They love that. Anyone else? Anyone else have, you're working with someone. How about sellers? How often?
Once a week.
Once a week.
Shouldn't be any longer than that, right? I mean, even if you have nothing, I've truly made the call to go, John, you're aware as I am that no one has looked at your house this week, but I'm calling you to tell you there's nothing to tell you. Or I could say something, the good news is...
Or it gives you an opportunity.
Right, it could be rates, or it could be...
It could be an opportunity to reduce the price too.
Yeah, it could be something else came on the market that's in competition.
Right.
But believe me, if you're invisible, they are concluding you're doing nothing.
So just to reiterate, one of the things that we always do, if it's a buyer or seller, is we tell them what we're going to do, then we do it, and then we tell them later what we did. So bottom line is that if we're working with a buyer and we show them property on Monday, we tell them what the next step is. And so I'm going to call you on Wednesday. If anything comes up in between that period of time, you'll hear from me. If I see a property that I think is the perfect property for you, you'll hear from me. But you have to give them expectation, and let them know what your plan is.
And succeed at that expectation.
That's right.
So what's your system? So you just said you're going to call me Wednesday. What's your system to you call me Wednesday?
So I plug it into my phone. So first thing pops up on Wednesday morning are these are the people I have to call.
Okay, so what's your system to put it in your phone?
I type it in. When I met with them, when I leave them,
right,
and I've told them what I'm going to do,
right,
I do it.
Okay, but right then, someone calls you. Before you can put it in, someone calls you, you take that call.
I've written it down, and I'm going
You've written it somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that there's just systems, because we got to be real with the interruptions. I think having a pad that you can just get it down in some Cro-Magnon way, sometimes I look back at it's barely legible because I'm doing so many things, but at least I know to go back there when you're being pulled a bunch of ways. Susan, you're trying to say something.
Yeah, you were asking about seller and following up with the seller. The thing I've started doing lately, and I've been doing this for 14 years, and I really haven't done this much, but I would say on my last 3 sellers, I've done this, and it's really been a game changer. I am putting them on a search as if they're a buyer within their own market.
Yep.
And so the seller's seeing the houses, their competition coming up, how quickly they're going under contract, and how long we're sitting, especially those houses that you're taking that are a little overpriced. For them to see what's coming and going and coming and going, and we're not getting any showings, they're calling me before I can call them.
Yep.
And that's a game changer.
That's why you came here today. That's worth the price of admission. It's a great idea. It's not you having to say that. They've already figured it out themselves, right?
Yeah.
All right, how about
just to piggyback on her, a great touch is even after you close with people, say, hey, would you like to be kept up with your neighborhood, and just keep them on the thing where they'll get an email from you when there's something that's been listed or sold.
There we go. How about closings? What's your what are you trying to do week of closing? Just follow up. Everyone have a list of.
So you're going to follow up on utilities.
Right.
You're going to follow up on if they're buyers that they've got their money ready to go to be wired into the attorney.
Right.
You're going to follow up with,
Insurance.
insurance.
Right.
So those are all those things that.
Green sheet with LA if you want to get paid to close. Right. Right.
Closing directions.
Right, closing directions,
Sure, the
map to
CD's
the.
out.
Okay, we all have a plan for that, right?
Sign for 3, yeah.
Right.
Don't assume, even if the house is vacant, that you don't need to call the listing agent on the wall. A lot of times they'll come and grab a box, and all of a sudden you're sitting there with nothing you look stupid, so.
Again, that's part of communication with the other agent is to let them know when you're going to go do your final inspection of the property. So they don't do that.
Yeah,
Take
that's
the
right.
right box.
Yeah. That's probably top 10 you feel stupid when lockbox in there. Right. Yep. Here's a huge one most people don't think about. So what is your system, what's your follow-up system after closing? Ah, blank faces. That's what I thought.
One day, 1 week, 1 month.
So, do any of you have a system?
Diane has a system that she's put on .loop that everyone can look at. It's a whole contract to close and after checklist.
Okay, so it takes a lot of work to find a lead, nurture a lead, marketing, you know, if you're in that game where you're still having to market to get leads. Okay, it's a lot of work, it's some money. Wouldn't we rather have people, our clients, for free being our sales force, right? So we have to do well in the transaction, very well, where they want to refer us. But again, probably the biggest step is that you're going to show what you're made of. Did you get your paycheck? And I hadn't heard from Kevin, and he took that money and
Puerto Rico.
right. So the biggest wow, I think, of the entire process is like a day or two after he's still here. You know, they're kind of they don't understand that either. That you're still you're my agent for life, and you're going to prove it to me, okay? And I want this relation. So you need to probably have a list for a good month of, hey, making sure you did this, making sure you did this. Is this okay? Okay? I think they kind of realize this guy wasn't in it just for the money. He really cares about us, and he really cares about this being great for us as an investment, as a home. Easy plan, and he probably from that are going to up your referrals a ton. Yeah. You said you had your hand
And
up?
Rashonda has.
Oh, there we go.
One of the things I do is I ask them to send me pictures when they've decorated, because I bet the females, you know, they all like to show off what they're doing. And she knows that for every holiday I want to see what she's done on her door, and she sends me whatever she's decorated and how she's done. And I stayed in touch. I kept on telling her about the homestead exemption. Please do it, please do it. And I reminded her again in the middle of March. Well, she sent me yesterday that she got her letter that she had done it. But she's getting a call this week going, now who do you know who wants to buy a home? You know, so I've asked her, but I think now I'm ready to okay.
Thanks for giving me that number, I appreciate it.
No, that's actually a brilliant idea that people would love. Just go, you know, I'm so interested in how people, you know, I've known you for 3 months, but I have no clue what your furniture and your decor looks like.
What have you done?
Right, I'd love, yeah.
She said she had a custom-made table done.
Right.
She sent me pictures of that.
Yeah, John?
I think it goes back to relational versus transactional. And when you start with a buyer or a seller, you let them know up front that, you know, your business is built on referrals. And so therefore, you are going to try to exceed their expectation in the transaction. And if you do exceed the transaction, their expectation, that you would hope that they would refer other people to you. And you follow up after the transaction, you know, by staying in contact with them, finding out, you know, maybe dropping by a day of moving, you know, to bring them some pizza or something. Follow up a week later. Is there anything that you found that you have some problems with that I can help you with? And then you know, visit with them quarterly, take a pop by, drop by with something so
Right.
that you become top of mind. And always exceeding expectations, and then, again, always asking for referrals. We've developed a questionnaire that, you know, we are sending out after the transaction, because we're asking them to tell us what they liked about the transaction, what they didn't like, how can we improve our service, how
Right.
can we do a better job, you know, for in the future, for anybody.
Right.
And so we're going to use those. Hopefully, you know, those will be, and we're also asking a release so that we can put them on our website, on social media, so forth and so on, so that we can start, you know, promoting the service that we provided. So, you know, I think it's just, you know, like we talked about 33 Touch, it's always touching, you know, our database, and always, you know, staying on top. And to be top of mind, you have to be visible.
Gotcha. So does anyone, like on your checklist, let's say after, so this should be another checklist, right? Just like before closing, after closing? Does anyone, like I post on their site? No?
Yeah, post
It's just on their site. So, hey, congratulations, Karen and Bill, on your new home on so-and-so. Love work. I mean, now it's going to everyone they know, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I typically do like a lot of pictures and videos through
Right.
the process.
Right.
My clients, they always need me to post them. Like I suck on posting them. They always post them. And then I go back and comment to like everybody who commented on their post and add them as a friend as a matter of fact as well. And it like really works out. I have, during my transactions, I basically have automated communications that I've already written. So every step of the process, there's some email that's already written that's going out. And all of them always have like, hey, I love referrals. I usually get referrals for my transactions as well. I do a survey at the end of close. They get a, hey, you're moving in, don't forget, blah, blah, blah. Then they get a follow-up on, here's my survey, please fill it out. Ask for referrals again. And then the other thing that I have, that's just like a standard part of my process. Me and my clients, we text a lot. So usually when I have sellers getting ready to do it, we've already have a calendar of like, hey, this is your date for when your painters are coming in, this is your date for this is your date for that. And we just kind of roll from our game plan from there. And I use, this is what's happening next a whole lot. Like I end almost every conversation. So next, this is what will happen. So.
Okay, she'll be teaching a class the next month. Don't worry.
Brad, the McCarty just had our Thursday happy hour about their client appreciation events. What they do 3-4 times a year, they'll have an event for their clients.
Right. There you go. And those are fantastic. So
and I go to housewarming parties. I'm typically invited to their housewarming, so
yeah.
I go to them.
All right, last area of leads, which is your database. So what does the company say? What are we supposed to be doing?
36
The feed and nurture your database.
Right, so how many times?
36.
36 a year. Does anyone in here accomplish that? Really? What forms do those take?
So they calls,
Right,
notes,
right,
newsletter, item of value,
right.
and popping by their house.
Same for you? So, and you have a plan for that? Okay. So I think the key to all this, we've talked about, there's actually a lot of different ways we're following up and remembering, right? We're with the agents we're working with in deals, with our buyers and sellers, with our future buyers and sellers, with things under contract, with things that have just closed, and I would say probably for 6 months, and then our database. And we have to have some sort of, again, game board, the way those are divided out, where they go in the category, right? These are all my active buyers, and these are all the people that are gonna buy. We have to have something that we can go through. Kevin does it weekly. It could be daily. I promise you, if you keep that, you'll never be lacking for who do I lead gen with. I mean, this will tell you, right? Or just like the minute you come out, it's in your phone. I mean, same thing. I mean, the minute I just finished with a buyer, probably I'm already writing on that the right place in the right list, follow up with them tomorrow going, hey, thought we accomplished a lot yesterday. Seemed like we ruled out East Cobb. We're now Dunwoody, Roswell, right? Expect to hear from me Thursday talking about when we go out again. There you go, right? Yeah, and then we have a place for all these things. We never remember, we never forget, we're not lacking of memory when we follow up. And I think you'll see your business zoom when you get this. Okay, good chat? Okay, Certainty Home Loans.
Certainty's in the house.
They're wearing t-shirts today.
We are, we're a little casual today.
Okay.
Good morning.
Somebody didn't get the memo.
Yeah, no. Actually, today is National Autism Awareness Day. And in Certainty, we all have t-shirts that we wear today to kind of bring awareness to that. So it's 1 in 59 kids suffer from that today, but it's a very wide spectrum. So it's one of the charities that we donate to. But I think you wanted to go over something up here on the board. Yes, the March Madness. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. Uh-oh.
Kind of.
That's all right. We got the important names up there.
45
Men, we really dropped the ball this year. Really dropped the ball this year.
So who's 1, 2, 3?
Rebecca Constantine is number 1 right now, but she's out of it. Not out of it, but she doesn't have any more teams left in it. If Virginia, I don't know if you guys saw my email, but if Virginia wins and takes it all, our very own Rachel Sweeting will take first, and Miss Allison Eloquent will actually take second. And old Brad Feynman there, tied for 5th right now.
I'll drop. I have no more points.
Yeah, so I think almost everybody got eliminated this past weekend. So
Yeah.
but it's been a good tournament, and don't forget 4th place gets lunch with Certainty. So
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, you might get 4th.
Hey.
4th, you might get 4th.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe. So it was mentioned just a minute ago. I think Marty mentioned it. We have been doing the wine and cheese socials about every other Thursday. We've really had a great time. Presenters have been Martino's, Bill and Kathy Haas, the McCartys. So I encourage you guys to participate in the next one. The next one is actually on the calendar for next Thursday, but we're going to postpone it because there's a beer, bourbon, and barbecue. So we don't really want you guys going from a wine and cheese over to beer, bourbon, and barbecue. So then we know we'd have to be calling a lot of Ubers and Lyfts. So we are going to postpone that, but we're trying to talk Brad into doing one of the next wine and cheese on his favorite topic, which would be creating your downline. Okay. So I think that would be a great topic for everybody to come.
Would you guys like to hear that? We get like maybe would that be?
You got to encourage him.
You got to encourage him. He's on the fence.
He's a little shy. He's a little shy. So. All right, but right after this meeting at 11:30 today, I believe on the calendar, we have a understanding credit. Little lunch and learn. We are bringing in the steak and lobster pizzas for lunch. But I got to tell you guys, this is one of my most passionate topics. If there's a problem with if we can't pre-qualify somebody, 9 times out of 10 it's because of credit. Credit drives our business, which directly affects your business too. Okay? Unless you're working with all cash buyers, and if you are, God bless you, that's great. But those of us that aren't require some credit. So it's a class that we all get involved in, we're all passionate about, and I guarantee you will leave with some great ideas and some great tips on how to improve not only your borrower's credit, but your own credit. Okay?
I mean, he's not kidding. My bedtime stories at night were all about credit.
You're a steward.
There was this company.
Good dog, Carl. Have you gotten your credit? Format, yeah.
So I wanted to talk about financing signs for your listings. So any of us can get a personalized sign made for certainty. We can do a renovation sign for financing, just a regular financing. And this is where it benefits you. So if you've got our sign in front, next to your sign, and people are just driving by, and they may not be interested in that house or even thought about buying, but hey, wait a second. They're gonna call us because it, you know, hopefully they're gonna call us and maybe start the conversation and start thinking about it. And we're gonna make sure that that lead comes back to you because it was your listing and that's how we got it. So if you want us to put a sign in front of your listing, just ask one of your favorite loan officers up here and we will do it for you.
Okay.
You can do it. Who was promoting the beer bourbon barbecue?
Yeah.
Hank? You had me at bourbon.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Kentucky.
So I think I will be actively involved in that little event. So
your name came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already had a lot of bottles donated. Sam Klein's. Yeah, it's good.
Fantastic. All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Sorry. Okay, 2 issues I want to discuss.
Oh no. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
I pay attention. Okay.
Okay.
The Fed plans not to raise rates anymore this year.
Correct.
We've seen a reduction in rates over the past week. Can you tell me what today's rates are for your 30-year conventional and your FHA? Gotta shout you out on Facebook now. Come on.
Okay. Well, how about if we send something out to you email-wise? Well, no, rates have been coming out at 10 o'clock, and we've been in the meeting, so I can't tell you what they are today, but I can tell you they're low. They're probably down in the 4.25 range for 30-year fixed.
And could you have any input for us on what the yield curve is going to do to impact those rates?
They're probably going to stay where they're at.
You don't think they're going to tank anymore?
I don't think they're going to tank anymore. That's a personal opinion,
Yeah.
and I'm reading that from the mortgage press. But it does look like they've also predicted for the next 3 years. Not only for the rest of this year, but for the next 3 years, they're predicting rates to be under 5%.
Yeah. Wow.
So
that means our economy's slowing.
yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right.
That sugar high that we got from those tax cuts is worn.
Well, and there's a lot of people filing their tax returns right now that aren't very happy, and if you look at gas prices right now, what the heck happened to those?
Right.
I mean, they went crazy and
international debt.
yeah, right. So there's a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on.
Interesting.
Even though a lot of that is national news, Atlanta seems to be better than all of that.
Yes.
Right. And somebody else was talking about multiple offers. I mean, and we're seeing a lot of multiple offers, but I would say primarily more in the under 3 to 350 range. We're still seeing a lot of multiple offers. And in the price ranges over that, not so much.
Yeah.
But still seems to be a hefty amount of competition in that under 350 price point.
Yep.
From our perspective. Did I answer your...
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I'd love to get that email.
Okay.
There we go.
We'll get you.
Rates are good. Very good. Thank you, guys. All right, super quick. Let's go top producers year to date. Month ended 2 days ago. Top group. So we report 2 different ways every month, year to date and that month, the previous month. This is year to date. Top groups, 3 or more licensed agents working together. 1, Becky Wynn Evans Group. 2, Providence Group. 3, Alexander Group. 4, Joanne Bolt Group. Congratulations. Teams, 2 and 2 only. RJ and Jim McCarty. Claudia Basato and Daniel Polito. Tara and Gary Gaines. Kathy and Tom Florence. Kathy and Bill Haas. Congratulations. Now these are some pretty big numbers on all these people. He's been hidden for a year, but he's back on top. Joe Cannon 1, J.M. Scott 2, Rocky Kaufman 3, Scott Morchower 4, and Lita Jordan 5. Congratulations. Top individuals, number 1 last year, back on top again. Number 1, Dan Bangs. 2, Cynthia Pierce. 3, Denise McEnany. Way to go. 4, Charlotte Harvey. 5, Wade Morris. 6, Tosh McGraves, 7, Rob Carino, 8, George Jackson, 9, Nicole Ambrose, 10, Mike Culver, 11, Brandon Atkins, 12, Becky Veal, 13, Ming Joe, 14, Virginia Moran, and 15, Amisha Mason. Congratulations. Very good numbers there. Let's go back to the upcoming classes. Just want to point this out. Right? Yep. There we go. So, y'all love Chad. Chad's coming next Monday. This should be very good. Calendar for success. What your calendar should look like if you're running successful business. So, again, no charge to that. Correct?
Correct.
There we go. Yeah, Chad's very good. We're having them every month this year. And Ignite starts next Monday also.
And don't count on it being streamed because he will not stream unless the room is filled. So.
Which it has been, luckily, every time. But yeah, he's a good man to hear. All right, Listings Caravans, what do you got? Hank?
I've still got my 4-bedroom, 3-bath ranch home, Breckenridge neighborhood, great public schools. If anyone knows, looking Master on the Main in a great neighborhood, it's at 657. And we would love, I mean, quite frankly, if you've got buyers, do you encourage them to put in offers? I mean, I've had a number of agents say they're listed as a beautiful, they're interested. It's a beautiful home, yet nobody's sending us a bid. Nobody's shooting us an offer.
Okay.
So, come see it, make us an offer.
Fierce listing conversation.
Well, maybe I got another. I've also got, it's not mine, there's a 2-acre lot. It's near Tucker. It's actually on Brockett Road. It's closer to Tucker, so it's not out by Clarkston or where you might think, I don't know if anybody, but this would be closer to town. I went over to see it yesterday, but I know the agent is trying to get something going. She's concerned, and it's zoned for residential, but she's on set. The house, there's one house sitting on it, which I'm assuming will be raised. You put multiple houses in there. The deal is somebody would have to have the DeKalb County hookups on the sewer. Mm-hmm. So if anybody's interested or know anything about it or anything, let me know. I'm going to let this lady know something tomorrow.
Okay.
What are they asking?
I don't know the price. She's got a price in mind. She's willing to sell it outright or to sell it piece by piece. Just all options on the table right now. But if you know a builder or developer that wants to come in and put multiple units on there, it would be.
If sewer can get hooked up, you know, that's
the key.
That's the key.
Yeah, call Joe Cannon. He can help you.
Okay.
All right, who else? Listings buyers, we got. Caravan.
Northside Drive listing, 1948 Northside Drive, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2 half baths. It's 3 levels, got a sauna room, got a movie theater. It's beautifully staged. Took pictures yesterday and it was great. We're going to list between 4.1, 4.5, and seller wants 1.5. I want 1.4. So we'll see what we can do. Caravan next Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll put out the flyer. Open house this weekend.
So this is on north side between
North Side and Collier, right off the exit. Is
between 75 and Collier.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I have a flyer floating around. I have 7 listings coming up in April, or this month, right in April. So anywhere from Atlanta, Latonia, Douglasville, there's 2 different land properties for sale. One land lot is in Pittsburgh, another one is over in Covington. So if you have anybody looking, there's some flyers, and I have some listings coming out in different places in the metro area.
Wow, Rashana took bold. She's still bold. There we go. There we go. Who else? 7 listings.
John Ellis asked me to announce 867 Commonwealth Avenue, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse at Enclave Grant Park on the Beltline for $340. Bring your buyers, he said.
Nice. I tell you, that Beltline.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, my son, who's just in town this week from school up in Chapel Hill, but he was like, man, he can't even, it's like bumper, just gridlock, people walking. He said there's 10,000 people out there. Yeah, people want to be near that thing. What else?
Forsyth Brick Ranch coming up in Snellville probably in the next 10 days. 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths. That includes a loft, bedroom, and a bath upstairs that could be treated as a separate apartment. It's going to be around $220.
Sounds good to me. Who else? Okay, April's here. So next week, next Thursday, bourbon, beer and barbecue. Monday's Chad. Auction is next Thursday.
I just want to say again, oh, there's Denise McEnany. Yeah, what number was she?
3.
3. Year to date. Woohoo! Anybody is welcome to just drop in on any Ignite class, a little brush up. Everybody. So, you don't have to tell me, you don't have to sign in, just come on in. Generally, the classes are 10 to 1. We'll have the schedule posted, but everybody's welcome.
Are you doing a command class in Ignite?
No.
Not yet. No. Okay. Again, times are good, rates are low, market high, temperatures starting tomorrow, jumping in the 70s. So
just for 2 days.
Oh, one other thing too. We will. We're doing an NCAA tournament. We did it last year. We'll do a Masters tournament. Seemed like a lot of you like that. So that'll be coming out. I'll probably give it to you this week so you have a little time to think about it. Again, same thing. 200 for the winner, 100. I mean, nothing to enter to make Masters a little bit more fun, which is not this weekend but next week.
Yes.
Okay, y'all have a good one.